Hello everyone. Been looking forward to doing this a long time. Today I'm going to be showing you what I would do shopping in an environment where I can actually buy in bulk on some items, and the concept for this is showing people who are new to plant-based or want to try it how to get a really good nutritional profile. And this is coming from someone who is a self-employed athlete, and I'd like to begin. First off, you'll notice we have a lot of fresh foods, like probably 2/3, if not more, really probably about 90% of it, because I think the nuts are, I don't know, kind of fresh, but maybe that's a debate. All right, anyways, we got bananas, we got some mangoes, a pear, a pineapple, 2 limes, 2 lemons, a bag of grapefruit, cantaloupe, kiwi, oranges, guava, and into one of our 3 power food groups, berries, cranberries, blackberries, blueberries, raspberries, and strawberries. Into our second power group, we have our leafy greens. We have spinach, collard, bok choy, romaine lettuce, leeks, more kale. There's actually more in the fridge, so there's our kale, broccoli. And into our third and my personal favorite, avocados. For these, we have over 30, and this, in my opinion, is the most important and totally underrated food groups, because fats are what our brain is made out of, and this is from my own personal experience and how it makes me feel. Avocados are where it's at. You want to get 4 or 5 a day if you haven't been consuming them very much for a while. Try weaning down to 2 or 3 a day from there. If you don't like it, you don't like it, but I think it's worth a try. Into our other vegetables, we have mushrooms, carrots, 2 kinds of cabbages, purple and green, tomatoes, onions, beets, green onions, a bell pepper, celery, asparagus, acorn squash, butternut squash, cauliflower. From here, we're going to get into our nuts and seeds. Now, while nuts are very expensive, seeds are very cheap. They both balance out, and they're both really fatty foods, just like avocados, and you can put them in just about anything. We have walnuts, almonds, and cashews, my personal favorite, flaxseed, and more flaxseed, although it was supposed to be chia seed. Both of these are ground and milled, and I feel like they digest way better that way. And into our grains, we have a 3-blend rice, white quinoa, because they didn't have the quinoa harmony that has 3, our beans, different variety, and potatoes. Some tofu, because I'm not traveling and can do some cooking right now, and I don't use tofu very much, so I'm interested to see what I can do with it. I don't normally recommend grains or bread at all, but Ezekiel bread, something I do have on time to time, is not made with flour. It's made with whole ingredients. It's kind of like eating a bean patty. It tastes really good, though. I do have this, which does break that rule, but it's 1 packet of tortillas for tacos and things like that. I have that canola oil. No, I will not be using most of that. That's more for Grandpa when I leave. And then I have some nutritional yeast here, and that is for your vitamin B12, and you can also make things taste a little cheesier with it. Usually I would just get it from rivers, creeks, and streams, but right now that's not an option, so we got that. Some vegan cheese, that's going to help with some meals. It is a processed food, so I would kind of recommend staying away from it, but I'm also working with my grandpa to help him transition into healthier eating. We have dill weed and curry powder for our seasonings, and cocoa powder for desserts, as well as sugar and a little active yeast, because I'll be making myself some homemade wine from some of the skins of the fruits after we eat them. So I think that kind of covers most everything. The only thing I want to talk about is the nutritional diversity and complexity. When you're trying to be your own dietitian, so to speak, I feel like it's really important to remember to get a good amount of variance, because things that I've done and even personal coaches for other people have done is make the mistake of eating healthy food but similar foods. So when I make my beans, for example, it's going to have a blend of all my beans every single time I use it, or my rice, or whatever it is. My lentils, I actually have red lentils too right now, and that's just kind of an example. My last Buddha bowl had like 4 different kinds of rice, 3 different kinds of beans, 2 different kinds of lentils, and some quinoa in it. And it should have been 3 kinds of quinoa. And that's just kind of an example of how you can get a lot of nutritional complexity and a lot of micronutrients that easily. The only other thing to remember is getting your 9 amino acids, and that's as easy as any time you have a dish with rice and beans, it's going to have it. That Ezekiel bread also has it. And there's just so many different things and combinations. As long as you're eating a good variety of foods and you're sticking to mainly fresh, raw, and whole foods, it doesn't take very much effort to make sure you're getting your 9 amino acids. So that's kind of everything I have to say. The only other thing I would want to add is you don't have to do this exact combination of fruits and vegetables. It can be whatever your preferences are. This is just kind of food I like, or foods that I'm experimenting with as far as cooking, or eating raw. If I'm traveling on the road, I'll get different things. So don't be afraid to be your own chef. And really, it's just about mixing and mashing. I've made smoothies with onions and garlic and carrots in them. I actually put in carrots all the time. Stir fries with, I don't know, banana. I mean, you can just do all kinds of different things. So for anybody who would like to work with me on diet and nutrition, I feel like my unique approach of really pushing the greens and the healthy fatty foods is absolutely incredible. It's what I've used to bike 50 or 60 miles in a day, and I've done over 1,000 miles this summer. Right now I'm a self-employed athlete, and I'd actually like to show you a little bit about that. This is my ad, and this is my packet that I'm selling. So on this, it just has my social media on the front of the letter, and then each packet comes with 20 photos, all kinds of different states and that sort of thing. And then on the back of the photos, you have the year, the location, and a little bit of background behind the photo. And it also has this 11-page booklet, and some of it is just my story of my journey and my travel over the last 3 years. But then it also has kind of the most useful information I've learned, not only in that time, but throughout my entire life. And it's got my social media on the back, so I'm hoping to start getting more followers and be able to connect with more people. For everybody who watched this to the end, I thank you, and I appreciate it, and I am sincere about my offer with working with anybody who would like to maybe make some dietary changes. All right, thanks. Bye.